Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are curious as fuck. That's why Snapchat blew up.
Right.
Like people thought it was stupid, and it was like, oh, dick pics only. But that's why freaking Facebook tried to buy it, but they couldn't, because Snapchat or Instagram stories is where you have 100% of the person's attention. There's no news feed you're competing, and there's a time limit, which creates a sense of urgency. Like, oh, I wonder what they're doing today. I'm not gonna. Cool. Okay, so how can I help you guys?
We just want to basically know for starting off with the basics and what we can do from
just to enhance our social media numbers and utilize it better in the proper way rather than just trying to do what everybody else is doing. We just want to go about it the right way.
Yeah, I hear you.
What
And
works for some may not work for others and whatnot.
yeah, and the intention is it just to get a following on, just to build it, like not really get booked, not really trying to do that, just trying to get the numbers, or is
I
it
feel like those kind of fall hand in hand. And once we get the clout and once we get the following behind it, then we can further get our materials and our product just to get seen in front of more people. And I think that's the product that we have is enough to put it in front of the right people. We'll be able to get whatnot.
Yeah. Is it? Okay, and the primary platform you're pushing around is all Instagram, right? Do you guys have like a Facebook page? Are you guys utilizing YouTube? All that stuff.
We have all the platforms. So we have YouTube. We have YouTube account, YouTube page. We have our Facebook group page, and then we have our IG, and then we also have a Snapchat too.
Snapchat. Okay. Let's see. Can you pull up your Instagram account?
Oh, you have the mob one.
Are you logged in?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, mob. Oh yeah, this is the aesthetic you're going for. Let's see the pattern. Oh, you just turned this into the thing. Okay, got it. So that's why there's not a whole bunch right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, aesthetically, I think a lot of it is really dope already. I'd say there's just a lot of. I feel like you guys should have a lot of videos, right? Yeah, okay, you guys did. Some things just like a lot of things coming up for me. So a couple of them, because since you just turned into a business account, I would go back to experimenting and adding some doing videos again.
Okay.
Just to see what the reaction is. Because right now they're reacting to more of the recent posts, but experiment with everything. Like stick with are you posting 3 times a day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue posting 3 times a day. Let's see what your data is here. Oh no, because considering you just turned it, post at 6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
Okay. Around those times, just to see how that works for you, since it's everyone. Assuming that everyone you want to share is in the West Coast time, it's local. You're at 6, 7, 8. Everyone's getting out of work at that time. Start posting more videos again to see how people react to that, and make a variety of videos. Some people I don't know, behind the scenes rehearsal shit, concept videos, performances. Vary it up. Once you see a bigger picture of what's going on here, you'll see the pattern of what people are liking most, and then you can do more of that.
Okay. And what is the number? Just how many?
This is the engagement. Oh, so Adam, don't do impressions, because it's all the way impressions is like the billboard. You see it, that's it.
Okay.
Engagement is people who actually engaged it and more. They liked it, they commented, they tagged a friend, that kind of stuff. You want to see more engagement over impressions. See, yeah.
Okay.
Boom, and then you'll see which people engaged with it more. And that's what you want to aim for, and then ultimately, because this is only the past 7 days, but you want to go for by the end of the month, within the past 30 days, and then bigger picture past 3 months. Then you start seeing the bigger picture of what people are really liking, and that's just making sure your own house is in order, that you're sharing the content that's good, because for sure you guys have good content. Now it's figuring out what people are reacting to the most. and then playing to what and catering to that. And then if you're trying to push a certain thing a little bit more, see different approaches. Like there's a concept video, maybe build a little bit buzz to it, like, you know, interview the choreographer, so, like his thought process or behind the scenes of rehearsals. That creates a little bit more interest into it. But some people, one thing I noticed is that people just new video out.
There's nothing to lead up to it.
Yeah, it got, and especially since no matter what, people are gonna love reality TV. I mean, that's why Kim K is so fucking popular, and then that's why rubbernecking is a thing. Like, we love reality TV. That's why Snapchat is huge. Facebook tried to buy it, but then they just copied it through Insta stories. So people like reality TV in a raw, real way. If you just document, like, you know, parts of a rehearsal, or when I saw you talking to your team, like, I really wish I had you mic'd up, because then you would that 1 minute clip or 5 minute clip could have been it's a minute of inspiration that you can share on YouTube, and then Facebook make a 1 minute clip, or then there can be a headshot. Here's a quote from J. Chris, not from Socrates. You know what I'm saying? A unique piece of content.
Okay.
So that's one thing. Like, just throwing out ideas. Hi. So what was I talking to you guys about?
Unique content.
Oh yeah, okay. So there's like one of
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, those are just just content ideas.
Yeah.
Next thing I would say, take advantage of the hashtags, because it's just not enough, and it's part of that game. Just creating your unique hashtags, which is solely what you guys do.
Yeah.
But then you also want to leverage some of the attention from other very, very popular hashtags. But you want to avoid the ones that, like, I think I talked to you about it. Avoid the ones that are like a million, because you think there's a lot of people, there's a lot of attention, but in reality you're fighting noise. Aim for like the ones that are like 300,000 people, like, that kind of stuff. Like,
stay away from like the VOTD and the PLOTD.
Those, I would save those for like, so the max you can do, if you guys intend to do it, is like 30 hashtags max. But you don't necessarily have to do 30, and you can do 20, and the last 2 or 3 can be VOTD, POTD, those general kinds. But the other ones could be like more specific. Freestyle dancer, dance is life, because there's a lot of people that do that. Or b-boy, or b-girl, locker, that kind of stuff. Anything in the general hip-hop dance with that relevance. Then the next thing I would say, what I'm not seeing, is respond to every person who comments.
Okay.
Every single person.
Even if it's just spam?
Even if it's spam.
Okay.
Because I get like, you should be, like, you want more followers? I always reply, sure, just as a joke. Because I get like, I'm pretty sure you get trolley ass fucking messages as well.
Yeah.
So just like, you either, if it's like something that like you really just don't want to deal with, delete it. But it's up to you how you want to play with the trolls.
Okay.
So sometimes I leave it alone. Sometimes I troll them back.
Yeah, so I did that to one person because they commented on a picture of us, and they were like, it was something stupid. It was like, do you want to learn more about this? And I was just like, of course. Like, why are you commenting on my video?
And most of the time, like, sometimes they don't respond back. Someone on one of my videos, they said autism level 9,000, and I was like, oh, like, sorry that you feel about this. Here, make sure you support autism. Here's a link to donate to this cause. So like, just things like that. Or someone was making fun of my other videos, saying blah 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 blah. It was me talking about a freestyle concept, and it's like, watch my blah blah blah. Like, and I replied back to him, oh, I've never heard of blah 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 freestyle concept. How's that working out for you? And like, within, I wanted to screenshot it. Like, I saw this in the morning. I wanted to screenshot it at the end of the day. It was gone. So it's just, but respond to is like, the people who are like showing you love, respond back to them. And another way you can do that is, because there's the way we view it in Vision Paradox is there's hunting and then there's farming. Like, there's like going out to get followers, but then there's also taking care of the people who are already following you.
Okay.
So give me your phone. So like, one thing, because The general thing a lot of people are constantly trying to do is they're trying to get more people there,
Yeah.
but they're not giving enough love to the followers. So what I would just do, this is what I do when I have like inefficient time, like when I'm just taking a shit, and then like I sit here, I go to my followers, scroll here, random person, and I just like photos, just because to show appreciation. And I go with a 3-1, like dope. Something general, and just something you can probably have like someone who's like a rookie or someone who's like willing to put a little bit of time into this, like with 5-10 minutes a day, just go to the followers. Because
we have to like, and she gets a lot of likes and stuff on her. Like have you looked at her thing? Yeah, Kylie and Kim, I think we should make like ambassadors for the social media. Because they actually have a bit of a following, or even if it's not a following, like they get.
But yeah, that's one thing I would do too. And similarly, like, and that's more like talking back, like what I was just talking about, replying to all the comments, going to your people following you and commenting. That's more. I would label that under farming, where you take care of the people who are showing you guys love. Because that's what's gonna. The more you pay attention to people who are like actually giving you attention, the more you'll cater that. That's the thing with social media. A lot of people don't see it as building relationship.
Right.
And because the way I've used social media is like, you know, how in the small town, a butcher, like everyone knows everyone in town, and if he has bad meat, everyone knows about it. That's how social media is. Justin Bieber fucks up, everyone knows immediately. The way I see it, like especially for each platform, it has its own native way of saying it. Like, what do you call it? Snap. You wouldn't necessarily do all your Instagram posts like how you would with Snapchat.
Right.
And same thing with Facebook. I think that Facebook too is something you guys. Facebook pages is something I think would be beneficial for you guys if you guys are trying to target specific people. So, like, I did this for like the last Family's auditions. I didn't let Mark know about it, so I ran like a $6 to $10 ad with targeting specifically the 10-mile radius of Alhambra, of anyone who liked between the ages of 18 to 30, who liked roller dance, Jabberwockies, all the main stuff. That's the power of Facebook ads and the Facebook and Instagram ads, is because you can specifically target people to come to what you want them to. Like with Instagram, it's like anyone can see whatever you're posting, but it's all limited to your followers unless you're tagged and all the other stuff. With Facebook and Instagram ads, like probably with a good small budget, like $10, $20, you can probably reach probably 2,000 to 5,000 people, and that's compared to a billboard spend that's about 10,000. And that's like more like deeper level stuff. There's ways of building following, like you can buy followers in a sense, where like using apps on the iPhone, but buying followers using ads in a way where it's like promoting it to people who are actually interested in dance in the right demographic. That's I think the more, I guess, ethical way of hunting, of getting new people, because you know there's only so much people, you know, that within the circle of who we know that know about us, but then we target those people, that specific demographic, then they discover a whole new team they may have never heard of. That's how some of the people from the most recent Family's rehearsals found out. It was like I just ran a random ass ad, and then I think that like ads in general, that's one of the many ways you can of building the following is ads, and then there's taking care of the people, and then there's commenting, and then there's collaborations, hitting up a SoundCloud artist and saying, yo, your music's dope, I want to use it. And then you send him the video, he'll give you a shout out on his thing. There's that kind of collaborations, and there's obviously choreo collaborations with other people, but then there's always got to be the cross promo, like some people, and holding up to that end of the bargain, you know what I mean? Or collaborating, I don't know, there's like a million ways to collaborate, you know what I mean? Like collaborating with a production company and give them a shout out and they give you a shout out, or working with at a film studio you film at, give them a shout out, cross promote that way. So even like your pool of people, like there's always a way, like if it's possible to, like if you can make a certain day a mob day of sharing, Mob Mondays, there you go. If everyone can kind of do that, like and in sync, I know it's gonna it kind of involves like really people falling into the mission of it, and I know there's people that are like, oh fuck this shit, because it's cross promoting, it's getting attention where you the person doesn't where the specific brand isn't. That's why with Instagram, I think influencers are huge on that, like collaborating with another famous, another really popular dancer, having them be part of it, or yeah, that's influencers.
So I wanted to get like that video of people that we could like just put together, just like even a little shout-outs.
Yeah, I mean another way too is, I mean I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you can just be like, you can curate, which is like what all these other dance profiles do. They just get a whole bunch of really cool videos and just like, yeah, it just makes it easier. So that all depends on you. Like, do you want to curate other people's content, or do you want to promote mostly yours, or is it just a mix? So that
think about doing like maybe once a week, like pick a specific day where we do like Talent Tuesday or something. Like,
yeah, that'd be cool too.
And then like promote other people.
Because then
the people that we are affiliated with, like Famous or Shiros.
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a whole. So something I've covered so far is the creating the content. We've talked about hunting versus farming, commenting everyone on all your followers. Those Facebook, Instagram ads, collaborations. In terms of collaborations, or even just getting shout outs. The way I would do it, and this is how I'm having my assistant do it, is make a list of all the dance profiles that do shout outs, like someone like who has some spare time in rehearsal, like they're just sitting on their ass. Get them have them make a list of like Dance on Network or dance shout outs, whatever. Make a whole list of IG profiles that you can shout, and then once you have that list, create kind of a template message 10, 20 different profiles, like, hey, like, love what you're doing, would love to do something with you guys, or would you guys be down to do a shout out? Some people might have to be a monetary kind of thing, $5 for a shout out, or it could be cross promotions.
Okay.
So it was really, because when I was doing this, it's for something else. I had like 200 people on the list, and every day I was fucking 20, 30 messages a day, and you probably might just get 3 replies back, but that small switch of attention, one's better than nothing, you know, and then people start, so that's one way. This is like, you know, really getting your hands dirty social media kind of stuff, because a lot of people want the numbers, but you can evaluate how the true value of someone's profile by how engaged they really are. Like if you see someone with 10K followers, but they're only getting 100 likes, that's a huge.
For our number of followers, we do pretty well with our posts. Like,
yeah, so because that means
on average we're getting like over 100, and like most people, I see people with 4,000 followers that get 100 likes, and we have like 900.
That's where it's always deceiving with social, because people look at the numbers over the engagement, over the.
We need to get like all the like kids to follow us and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was thinking like talking about like collaborating with people. I know like I wanted to do something with like Married to the Mob, because like it's like the same thing. And, like the girls, if we all even just like had stuff that we could, they would repost us, and like we have the same name, so it's kind of cool.
You know, it's all relationships, and you know, I think obviously the talent is already there. It's always the content that's the variable. Sometimes they might like a image, and sometimes they won't. So that's why the data is important, because you can base it on like. So then you can let that data be like be the next hint of what's next. Because that's what makes fans more into raving fans, is when they see that you're kind of listening to them. You know, obviously you're the creator, you get to take the direction you want, ultimately. But you know, it's nice to be heard, like, for the fans to be heard, and that's why simple responses back is great. Or even just to go to another level, when I see someone comment like that says, "Hey, that was dope," or whatever, I go in there, I just show, I just do the same thing what I do with the followers, like just like them, show them some love. That way it's like, it gets a little deeper than that. Because now
making it personal too, instead of just like, cool.
yeah, a very good book I would suggest is reading the book called Thank You Economy. Because I think the best way, especially since a lot of people are on social now, to really stand out from the noise is to be personal.
Right.
Because it's something called that I learned called the Taylor Swift effect. Like she's like, you've seen how she treats her fans, right? She insane, like she doesn't necessarily have to do that. There's the return on investment is ridiculously small. It's a waste of her time. Technically, she can be getting money for it, but she's willing to go to a fan's wedding to sing for that.
Delivered Christmas gifts.
Yeah, she had, and that's where it goes. Like, you know, marketing without the marketing.
Right.
It's where you create the experience where they're talking about you for years, and that's where like the interactions, not just in person but also online. You know, say going deep into like provide, you know, value for the other person. They'll be like, damn, that person. Because I've recently talked to this one dude on my YouTube asking me like I've been practicing breaking at the park, but I feel I'm getting embarrassed because I keep getting laughed. Like about 40% of people are laughing at me when I'm practicing. And I went to a whole thing of like where you should find practice spots, and I don't know what country he lives in, but I just like those are the moments where like this person I don't even have a face for, it can really have an impact, and that's how I'm viewing social, and like and that's what I'm kind of pushing, and then that's why like the funnel I think is like show the dance, but I'd also to show some of the story beyond it, like to know like who the director is, like what a little bit of your history, because you know that's people like that. People like, you know, like Undercover Boss. People love that. You know what I mean? Because then you see the depth. You don't just see the surface stuff. You don't just see the pretty picture. You see the building of it. So I hope that's helping.
This is all really.
There's a lot more, because I was going to say Insta stories and all that stuff.
Right.
That's where I would also take advantage of, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a lot. Or Instagram stories or Snapchat. I would say try to, in rehearsals or behind the scenes gigs, or say even something simple as this. Try to post minimum 5 times a day. I would say specifically, like right now we'll focus on Instagram stories, because Instagram stories is
we'll start recording clips of performances.
Yeah,
that's
and
a lot, like how Mikey does a lot of that. He puts like his actual concept video on his Insta story. He's like, oh, go check out my new video.
Yeah.
Even like when we're doing stuff like we're like picking up the jackets and like we can even do stuff like that. Like,
people are, that's what I'm saying. People are curious as fuck. That's why Snapchat blew up.
Right.
Like people thought it was stupid, and it was like, oh, dick pics only. But Snapchat or Instagram stories is where you have 100% of the person's attention. There's no news feed you're competing, and there's a time limit, which creates a sense of urgency. Like, oh, I wonder what they're doing today. I'm not gonna, because you know, with the news feed, there's everyone else. They're doing this, and then like, switch. With this, you're watching, or you tap, and you watch it. So much more sense. Because that's where it is. That's where you're keeping the attention. It's very close to human communication in a way, because when we talk about this 24 hours later, are we going to remember the exact moment of what happened? That's what makes Instagram stories and all the Snapchat stories insanely, like, it's that sense of it's going to go away, and especially if you do that kind of stuff right. Like some people, I don't know if you guys know the Snapchatter Sean Duras. He is fucking amazing in Snapchat. He's a great. He does Snapchat art, and he talks it. And the only way it's gonna make sense is if you know the story of that day, because it builds so much context. And then some of the people I've been just helping out in terms of real estate stuff, like talk about the story, not just of the house, talk about the neighborhood. Like, here's a nice shop that's only down the block. Here's a school. Here's I'm interviewing the principal. That's what you can do as a story. Like, here's Jay. Yo, what's one piece of advice for for some newbie ass dancers. Give your like your 15 seconds, like one piece of advice. Boom.
Okay.
That kind of, or it could just be you taking a picture of whoever the choreographer is. Picture like mood, whatever it is. Simple pictures like that, because you know.
Okay. I think we should also have like a little like thing with the rest of the team to kind of get them on the same page, because they don't know. Like I'll be like, guys, don't share it. Like if I post something on our Facebook,
My God.
I'm like, share this post that's posted from the mob. Don't repost the picture on your, like, upload it yourself, because we're trying to direct traffic to us, not like your own page. So they don't get that.
Because they want, so they're not tagging. They're not trying to.
Yeah, well, because
that's
like,
tough.
if I upload like a photo to the mob Facebook page,
yeah,
I'm like share this post, and then they'll just like upload download the picture and upload it themselves. I'm like, no, share the mob post, so then people are our reach is more.
Yeah.
Because it's going on, like we have 30 people in the company right now. Like if you each have 1,000 followers, like that's so many people
that's a lot. That's what's so, that'd be crazy. Like they have something called boost groups, where there's
Sorry, no, you're not tripping. Yeah.
Where there's actually people that just like and comment on other people's stuff, and then if you guys can get like at least even like 10 people on that same page, like, you know, every time have them turn on their Instagram notifications every time the mob posts up, they like and they comment immediately. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the people don't even like the photos we're posting, and I'm like, you guys, like every time someone likes a picture, it shows up in other people's like newsfeed. So
I think that's probably why so most people aren't willing to do something on this, and they have a deep embedded reason why of what's gonna to do it.
Well,
so
it's like if they're posting it on their own anyway, like it's not that much harder to like try to direct traffic towards us.
Then it goes back into them trying to look good, like, oh, here's my crew. And then do they even tag? A good, like, even just like having them tag or even having them mention it would help out a lot. Because generally like the whole repost with the thing kind of looks tacky. Right. So with just them tagging in general, as long as they tag, because then it'll pop up. Right. Or even if you guys share the picture, have a little watermark. That way. Yeah, we have a watermark. You didn't put the watermark on. I bet.
I should have done that.
So watermarks, things like that. Like even with the video, watermark at the bottom right or bottom left, things like that. Okay. If you guys want, I'd be down to just do a social media thing with your team. I don't know if they're interested in that, but
like a whole.
That's like a seminar.
Probably.
Yeah, I did it for a couple companies already. I'm down to do that because everyone has their own individual, thing or question, and it's just hard to do a blanket piece of advice. If I had to limit it today to just one thing, I'm gonna say 3 things. Okay, top thing. Instagram stories. Do that. Okay. That fucking product is fire. It is. It's lowering Snapchat's evaluation value because of it. So and like my attention on Snapchat went down because of it.
Yeah. The only thing that will keep Snapchat is the filters, because like just love filters.
That's what got people. But then even then they're catching up.
Yeah, Instagram will have something like that soon.
Yeah, and then Instagram stories. Comment on everything. Like respond to everyone. Yeah, and document. Yeah. Top 3 things. So at least 5, max 12 on Instagram stories. Oh. So minimum 5. Yeah. And it doesn't take that long. Snap picture, add a filter, you're done.
Right. I need to just get a new iPhone so I have better quality.
Yeah, it's alright. Don't even worry about the quality. Just do it. Like that's what, like when I with my YouTube channel, like my people were asking. I was asking like, what camera equipment do I use? My fucking phone, dude. It's always what you give instead of what what you're using.
Okay.
You know, because I don't know if you've seen like movies where like the doctors aren't in an operating room, they fucking have to work with what they have. So that's what essentially what we are. We work with what we have.
Okay.
As long as you're producing good shit, that's all that matters. And then you can get fancy later. Because people focus too much on being fancy first.
Yeah, that's true.
So and you guys have a lot of talent that you could just share through the story. Like say I'm a non-dancer and say you guys are doing Instagram stories behind the scenes of what it's like to be on deck, like Mookie calling you guys up.
It just is hard because we don't have that outside person. Like I dance with them, so it's like I can't be doing it.
I'm the annoying guy that always has my phone on me. So even those rants you do, if you make a video of that,
oh yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Dude, and then just formatting it not just for Facebook, for YouTube, but for Instagram stories, because there's ways you can do that. It's all over the place. You'd be everywhere. Like whenever I read it, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker needs to have a show. Like, you know what grinds my gears.
Yeah, pretty much. The whole Jay said.
I think you'd be a great show. Like, just it doesn't have to be fancy right off the bat. Like, set phone down, be real, and then if you want to get a little fancy, put on your like iMovie, put a little background music and whatnot, upload it. People, and that's all it takes. I don't know if there's questions. I just shared a lot based off,
I'm always the kind of person to where like I have no problem like reaching out. So I say like digest all this and break it down, and then if I have any questions, I'll for sure reach out to you.
Yeah, let me know, dude. I'm glad we got to connect and I got to we got to hang out, and let me know if you want me to come in and talk to the team about it.
Oh no, definitely we're gonna want to set that up for you too. Like we're working we're trying to throw a quick show together for Greg's for collab NorCal.
Oh, nice.
So it's kind of like focus right now, but I definitely want to set aside some time to like really just focus on this and like have everybody. I'll bring you in, and everybody sit down and really like pay attention.
Yeah, you guys got any questions? Just let me know, because I know there's a lot to digest, and if there's some getting started on some things might be a little confusing on some parts, but let me know, because that's one thing I don't do. For me, I don't take advantage of enough is holidays or those kind of days, because then that's where a lot of people are saying the hashtags are huge at that moment.
Yeah, you're right. Hashtag International Women's Day.
Yeah.
IWD.
Yeah, like even if it doesn't apply, whatever like that day is.
Do you guys give shout outs to your members on their birthdays?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And yeah.
We have to, yeah. I feel like because we're kind of stuck in that like format, it's hard to deviate.
Stuck in that 3-post format. So.
Yeah, I know when you're stuck to a format, it's tough to like break out of it.
Sometimes it's like for this one, I was like, I don't know what to put on this side. I'm like, let me just flip it upside down, and this one got like the most likes out of all of them. And I'm like,
that's the thing. That's the thing. That's why I encourage like documenting, share as much content, because you never know what piece of content people will love.
Stuff that people
like Stephanie, like when Stephanie was posting like her stuff, she does like the whole like baking and all that stuff, and she made this beautiful ass fucking cake, and the most likes she got was a fucking plain ass cupcake. I'm like what the yeah, exactly. It's like the things that aren't something you expect people enjoy, and that's why trying to there's a way to strategically make something go viral. Like there's like it involves a whole PR thing in general, but to make it like accidental is just like serendipitous. Like that like
kind of luck then, right?
Yeah, but then like with one of the companies I'm working on, they're asking me like, how the hell do we make something viral? And we talked, and I seriously talked. Okay, if you want to make something, if you want to force or make viral, here's an ad budget we got to work with to reach this many people. Here's the amount of people we need to have to promote it. We need to connect. We have to call Instagram influencers and pay them to post it the day of, and then bloggers to talk it the day of, and it's just a whole. That's how you get the circus going.
I think for us at least, like me personally, I don't know about you, but I would rather have like a more organic audience and like people who are actually invested in what we're doing rather than having like a million followers that don't really.
Yeah. Are you guys on Musical.ly?
No, I need to though.
That I would get on. Like it's just don't over-invest in it, but play with it.
Okay.
Because especially since it's all about music.
Yeah.
If you freestyle to it and use the hashtag, like use the technique I would use with Musical.ly is like look at the top trending hashtags, put a freestyle, even if it's a pre-recorded freestyle, like
just put it.
Musically reminds me of what Instagram was back in 2012 when it first came out. Like you can hashtag, everyone will fucking follow you, everyone will like you, like all that stuff. There's no advertising, and it's very young right now. So I would play with that one post a day or one post every other week, whatever, and use what the trending hashtags are there, just to be ready for what's next, because you never know. Instagram might fuck up and become like Vine. You never. That's the thing. You never want to be at the mercy of a platform. When I'm taking a shit, I take a look at the top 150 apps, and I see what are social apps. Okay, and I say, okay, what's going on here? And I play with it a little bit. There's things like Marco Polo. There's things like Anchor. It's like Anchor's like Twitter, but for voice. So so there's that. Marco Polo is like it's like Snapchat meets walkie-talkies.
Yeah, it's like what's it called?
Like next
it's like Boxer with pictures.
Yeah, so you can see it in live. So like that's why I'm like it's when you see that kind of stuff, like I play with it a little bit, just to know what's possibly coming. And I would say like for you guys, I think Musical.ly would probably be worth it. The demo is super young though, like middle schoolers. Yeah.
A lot of my kids use it.
That's the pattern. If you're working with teenagers, like when I'm teaching my hip hop class or my breaking class, like I always ask them, what apps are you using right now? And it's so weird, like, and I see I'm like, oh, I'm using this, and this, and I'm just mainly listening to like what social apps are on, and then I start seeing the pattern, and then it's a small test group, but it's a kind of a sign.
Okay.
Because kids never want to be on a social platform where their parents are.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why the younger generation isn't on Facebook. That's why Instagram is still there, but it won't be probably within the next 2-3 years. Might be Snapchat, might be Musical.ly, might be something else. Because this generation, what Facebook is to us, the high schoolers is going to be Snapchat or Instagram. So that's why it's like it's a constant motion, and that's why I started my company. So yeah. So, but no matter what, as the way I'm seeing it in terms of the communication, Facebook's still going to be the monster and the beast for a very long time. Because the person leading, who's Zuckerberg, he understands the people, like the whole where the attention is, which is why he made the smart choice of trying to go for Snapchat, which is why he invested in Oculus early, because within a decade at least, VR is going to be normal.
Within a decade?
Yeah, because the thing with humans is that it takes a while for us to accept, like the idea of I think smartphones were already invented in the 90s before, but it became mainstream popular because of Apple, and because I know it was only a decade ago, like we had flip phones.
Yeah, that's great.
I hope I helped out a lot as much as I can. If you guys got any questions, just feel free to hit me up. If I don't respond right away, it's probably because I'm busy working or I'm in a meeting. So yeah.
We appreciate it, brother.
Dude, no problem, dude.
Seeing you again, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
No, I'm happy that you guys are going on.